Alright you guys, welcome to another deck video. Today we're going to be going over Typhlosion. Typhlosion Breakthrough. Typhlosion Breakthrough. It's got an attack that says, discard the top 5 cards of your deck, then deal 80 damage times the number of energy cards you discarded this way. Pretty cool. It kind of reminds you of the Rhyperior. The thing about the Rhyperior is you can use that attack for free, so you can play all psychic energies. Whereas Typhlosion, you have to at least attach one fire energy to it. So, there is that. This deck is centered around getting Typhlosion out and using it over and over again. So, it does take a hit in consistency in some other areas because you're playing certain things. But what it lacks for consistency, it makes up for in just raw, sheer one-shot power. This list was taken off of the U150 website and then adjusted to be a little bit more greedy and Alex friendly, a little bit more consistent. But the same sort of skeleton is there. So we'll go ahead and take a look at it. You are playing the 1 Typhlosion, the 2 Quilava line. But mind you, both of them have like a same sort of thing where they're discarding a top card of your deck and doing more damage. And then you're playing 3 Cyndaquil as well, just kind of that pyramid line to ensure that you can always have this Typhlosion ripping and roaring. So you're going to play the 3-2-1 line there. Let's see, you're also going to play Volcanion. It is a fire-based deck. It doesn't play the Victini, but it does play that. And you're also going to play the Skarmory. Now, Skarmory is a card that we took from the list and probably should be dropped, to be honest. There are just better cards than Skarmory. It's kind of a weird sort of thing that made its way into the deck, but could be dropped. If you didn't know what Skarmory does, it's not a bad card. It is one of those like good versus better cards. It has a call for family attack, search for 2 and put them on your bench, and the second does 30 plus 30 if there's a stadium in play. So like, you know, for a non-EX basic to do 60 damage for DCE, not the worst, and have a good first attack, but they're just better cards. So it's in here for now because we wanted to keep the original spirit of the deck alive, but you could cut it. Moving on to ways to manipulate your top deck, you're looking at a Mantine and a Macargo. You may notice these if you watch the Macargo video, these two are in that deck as well. They're just kind of ways to manipulate your top deck so you can guarantee yourself fire energies for Typhlosion. Since you're already playing Macargo, might as well play another Macargo, the good one that's going to do 120 EXs, as well as just a 2-2 Slugma line, ways to manipulate your top deck for the Macargo. And then there's one last way that we're going to manipulate our top deck, and that is going to be the Power Circulation Delcatty from Platinum. What it does, ooh gosh, I really need to not record at night. So it's a search and discard for 2 basic energy cards, shown to your opponent and put them on top of your deck. So if you're doing your math at home, that's 2 from your discard, 2 from discard, 1 from discard, anything from your deck. So you can guarantee yourself 4 if you have all of these 3 for that 240 damage if you need to hit that number. Since we're playing Delcatty, we'll go ahead and play the other Delcatty, discard 1 card, discard 1 energy and draw 3. So it is a 2-2 Delcatty line. Those are going to be your main Pokemon stuff, the 3-2-1 here, the 2-2 here, some support Pokemon to round it out. And that's going to be it. Speaking of support Pokemon, because we are playing Delcatty, we are not playing the Porygon 2. Does get a little scary. Because you're not playing Porygon 2, you don't get those 2 supporters per turn. However, you kind of don't need it because, you know, I mean, let's be frank, you do need it. Every deck needs it to be the most consistent you possibly can be. But Blacksmith isn't as important in a deck like this because it's just 1 energy attachment on said Typhlosion. So, you know, you don't need to play 2 supporters a turn every time. You can kind of like manipulate your way around it. But you do have to be wary of your opponent's bench in those situations. So, your standard 1-1 and the rest of your support Pokemon here to round out the Pokemon line. Moving on to supporters. You're going to play an AZ because your main attacker is an EX. It is a fire deck, so you're still going to play Blacksmith because you still want to be able to blacksmith to stuff like Macargo and other stuff. Remember, I did say it wasn't as important, but that's just for your main attacker. For your backup attackers, you're still going to need Blacksmith. Colress, Copycat, Guzma, and then Hex Maniac there. Karina, Lysander's trump card, Marley's Request, and Mallow. All standard looking stuff so far. We're going to be collecting, we're going to be junipering, oaking, sycamoring, admining, and researching. That almost worked. And then your last couple cards you're going to play a Sage's Training as your extra draw supporter, your Skyla for a way to search out cards. Teammates is a great search deck for any 2 cards. Wally because you're playing Evolutions. And then the original list did play one Pokemon Center Lady for decks that can't hit Typhlosion. It does have 150 HP. It is kind of a beefier dude. So if you're against a deck that doesn't one-shot a lot, Pokemon Center Lady is going to be big for you. I've never really been a huge fan of this card. I think you could switch this out for, probably another supporter of some sort, maybe even an Oracle to put, Mallow and Oracle to put extra energies on top of your deck. So what you could do is you could play this for an Oracle to keep the Mallow, and then switch the Delcatty line back to a Porygon line, because you can use these. I like that actually a lot better to play it that way. So you got to think about it this way. If Porygon 2, the point of Delcatty is to take 2 energies and put them on top of your deck, right? Well, Porygon 2 is essentially going to do the same thing. You're going to play your supporter for turn, and then you're going to download more Oracle or Mallow and take those 2 energies and put them on top of your deck anyways. You're going to get the same effect. However, Porygon 2 is going to be just strictly better every other time that you don't want to do that. So that's what I would do. Just some live deck editing here. We're going to take this, switch to an Oracle, switch out the Delcatty line for a Porygon 2 line. You're going to get the same exact effect that you normally would have anyways. Just a little bit better consistency for the other times where you're not attacking with Typhlosion. Boom. See, there's always a reason to play Porygon 2 over anything else. Always, always, always. Your items here. Bump, 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 boom. Items. We're going to take a Battle Compressor. It is a Blacksmith. It is a fire deck. You're going to be using Blacksmith at some point during the game. So, Battle Compressor. Bill, Computer Search, Escape Rope, Evo Soda, Invention. Nothing to write home about here. Item Finder, Junk Arm, Level Ball, Luxury Ball, Misty's Wrath, Pal Pad. Again, all standard stuff. PCOM. You got your Retriever in there. You got the Oak. Your Scoop Up for better bench space. Super Rod and Swoop Teleporter. You're also going to have your Ultra Ball, the Versus Seeker, Warp Point, a little bit extra. You kind of do have some fat stuff in the deck, so extra switching is nice. Windstorm. You're playing a Stage 2 deck, so we're going to have a Breeder in there, and we're going to have a Rare Candy in there. Oh my gosh, I'm losing spots here. Rare Candy and Breeder. Like I said, you do play some fatties, so there is an extra switching card in here. You have Escape Rope, Warp Point, and Switch. Just a lot of ways to switch out cards. Rescue Stretcher, you're going to want to be using that Typhlosion over and over again, so playing both of the better recovery options, definitely the way to go. Max Potion, like I said, if they can't hit that one, this is even a better card once PCL gets out of the deck, because then you're just abusing the Max Potion. Your main attack is for 1 energy, so that's where you have this. And then Secret Mission, just an extra way to draw cards. This could be cut if you don't like it, but I really like it in a lot of decks. You could cut it for an Iris, I guess, but yeah, I'd probably cut it for an Iris. I would cut this for an Iris. Since we're editing the deck on the fly anyways, that Secret Mission would definitely go for an Iris. Even though you're kind of blowing stuff up anyways with the Typhlosion, for all of your other stuff, that's where it's useful. And that's the thing that I didn't realize when Greedy was turning me onto it, is that you can take out knockouts with, Baltoy with Iris. So, something to consider there. 3 stadiums. You got a Broken Time Space. You're playing an Evolution, duh. Skyfield, you do have a little bit of bench issues because you want that Delcatty, if you're still playing it, on the bench. Your Mantine on the bench, your Macargo on the bench, plus all of your Claydol on the bench, plus your Typhlosion. You need a lot of stuff on the bench. And then Stark Mountain has a little bit of extra acceleration to your Macargo in case you ever need to attack with it. I believe it is for fire and DCE, so if you already have a fire on the field, let's see. Yeah, it is fire and DCE to use this Macargo, so if you already have a fire on the field, great. And if you already have fire on the field, you can switch and use Flare Destroy as well. It's the second attack with Typhlosion. You Stark Mountain and then attach for turn. You also could play Scorched Earth, since you do play a lot of energies, so Scorched Earth could be put in this deck. It's not, because I kind of like Stark Mountain a little bit better in this deck specifically. Floatstone and Muscle Band are your 2 items that are going to be in every deck, or in this deck. You got Fatty, so you need Floatstone. You got Muscle Band to alleviate the need, if it's a 100 HP Pokemon, you're only going to need 1 energy to discard. So that's pretty cool. Your standard 4 here in Dowsing Machine. Hey, a real one, how about that? Not a proxy. Your standard 4 plus Dowsing Machine, going to be in almost every single deck. No reason not to. And then for energies, the 1 double colorless is all you're going to need for specials. you don't, you're not relying on the Macargo, so you don't need extra stuff like upper energy or boost energy or that sort of thing. So DC is fine. You also don't need burning energy because your main attacker. Whoa, there's that bug I was talking about. Get out of here. You don't need burning energy because your attacker is not discarding energies. This damn bug. Okay. So sorry about that. Last but not least, 3, 6, 9, 10, 3, 5, 15 energies. More than enough in this deck because they're all going to be being recycled. And being recycled? They're all going to get recycled anyways. That does it for the deck. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm dealing with this weird looking bug right now. That's why my hands aren't back on the screen. That's why it's kind of boring. But if you have any questions about Typhlosion, let me know. This list can definitely be more focused on Typhlosion, or it can be more focused as Typhlosion as a tech, or it can be more focused as like Typhlosion plus other Typhlosions to accelerate to fire stuff. A lot of different ways you can play this deck, but we decided to play it with the way that the original creator kind of intended it, just with a little bit extra consistency. Switch those Porygon 2 out, Porygon 2 and the Oracle, and you'll have yourself a great deck. Thanks for watching.